The following is a presentation of the Broadband Universe, brought to you in part by Vitruvi, the end-to-end GIS-based construction management platform that connects asset owners, operators, general contractors, and subcontractors for unmatched project control and collaboration. Manage every aspect of your telecommunications or utility infrastructure construction program with Vitruvi. Build faster, reduce costs, improve quality. Book your demo today on vitruvisoftware.com to see how we can help you build at scale. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Broadband Universe podcast. I'm Craig Corbin, and it is a pleasure to welcome today's guest, Pam Becker, Executive Director of the Foundation for Rural Service. Of course, the Foundation for Rural Service, the philanthropic arm of NTCA, the Rural Broadband Association. Pam, welcome to the Broadband Universe.
Thanks so much for having me, Craig. I'm just honored that you want to find out more about what FRS is doing and what we're all about.
Well, it is such an important time in this industry for the foundation, and of course, just on the heels of the NTCA's Our Time event in San Diego, an opportunity to meet with so much of the membership. I had a chance to visit with you and the FRS team there, and we wanted to get into the work at hand for the foundation. Before we do that, though, help our viewers learn a little bit more about Pam Becker. How did you wind up as Executive Director of the Foundation for Rural Service?
You mean, how did I get the very best job in the entire world?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, you might think it was accidental, but in a way, it's just everything lined up beautifully. I grew up in the Midwest in southern Indiana, and went to Washington, D.C. to go to college. Okay. Had a great time, and then ended up working in a professional society, so similar to NTCA, but for individuals who were engineers, mechanical engineers, doing government relations work for them. I enjoyed that. Did that for about 8 years, but along the way, I married a Southern Californian, and so we moved west, and I ended up in San Diego, of all places.
Okay.
For over 20 years as a frontline fundraiser. Initially, I was raising money for the College of Engineering in San Diego, and I got that job not because I knew anything about fundraising, but because I could speak engineering, and I could talk with engineers and enjoyed it, in fact. And it ended up just being a really good fit for me. I love being a matchmaker and putting together great projects and things that need to happen and, challenges and fixes with people and organizations that have resources that they want to help make that happen with. And so as a fundraiser, we get to put those two sides together and then watch the magic happen. So I was in San Diego for 20 some years, worked for a variety of nonprofit organizations, healthcare, education, science research. And then we decided to come back to the DC area for my husband's job. And because we had already been here, it wasn't a weird and scary thing, and got to come back. And then this opportunity became available at FRS. And it's really just this lovely kind of full circle of being both working in the association world and in fundraising and getting to do that matchmaking again. So that's why I'm one of the luckiest people ever.
How wonderful.
And now I've been here almost 4 years.
That is fantastic. And how wonderful, Pam, to find an opportunity that is such a great match of your desires to work in the field that you are and being so successful. Of course, I guess pushing now 3 decades for the foundation as 28 years of investment in rural America, I guess now in the 29th year. Give us that 30,000-foot overview of the foundation.
So you're right. In 1994, NTCA realized they needed another related but separate organization to do some of the things that they weren't able to do within NTCA. Right. And so really that is all about giving back to rural communities by partnering with NTCA members. So we are a we are a public charity, so people who can make contributions to FRS get a tax deduction. You can't do that if you make a gift to NTCA or to the PAC. It's a different tax ramifications. And so we are able to take those contributions from both member companies and also individuals. Anybody can make a gift to FRS. Thank you, Mom. She makes a gift. um, and that's a tax-free, tax deductible contribution, and
Right.
then we're able to do good work with that. So we have a variety of programs and activities that we are able to do, and we can't do it without NTCA members. So we're related, but we're separate.
And
you know.
without question, that involvement is highlighted. I know during some of the annual events, not the least of which the art time that we just had in San Diego, the fall meeting that was in San Francisco. There typically are events that the foundation will hold to help bring out members of the NTCA and make them aware of the job that's going on. Talk a little bit about some of those events over the last 6, 10 months.
You are absolutely right. So we just came back from San Diego in our time, and we had two fundraising events. And the events are an opportunity to really raise awareness about what is FRS, what is it that we're doing, why bother? And
Right.
it's an opportunity for people to participate. By purchasing a ticket, by registering for the events, they are helping support our program. So at our time, we had a poolside party. We had 450 people around the pool. Nobody fell in. Good job, everybody. And a live band and fun. And we do a little, a couple minutes about, hey, this is FRS and this is what we're doing and why we're here. We're not just the social arm of NTCA. We're
Right.
doing good work with this.
Sure.
And then we also had a golf tournament later on in the wind. It was a very windy day, but turns out the golfers are hardy. If you want to golf, you really want to golf. Coming up at Fall Conference in Boston, we are going to do a bowling event.
Excellent.
Bought out a bowling alley right there by Fenway Park, and it's a way for people to get together with your friends. Everybody's coming to these meetings anyway. They're reconnecting. They're catching up. And also, a lot of NTCA's associate members are looking for ways to meet new folks or say hello to their clients or thank you. And so we encourage that to happen at FRS events. It's kind of like we're all there anyway. Let's do this and also support good things like scholarships and community grants.
And make good things happen for the rest of the year with
Right.
what is done
Right.
at these events. You talk about the hard work, the good work that is being done by the foundation, and it's amazing when you look at the amount of money that has been given to communities all over the country, to individuals. There are a number of opportunities there. I know that there is a memorial scholarship fund, the James L. Bass Memorial Scholarship Fund. There is the Tim Owens Memorial Fund. Tell us a little bit about those.
Sure. So, scholarships are one of the ways that people are most familiar with FRS,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one of the activities that we've been doing for the very longest time. So we do, our fundraising that happens. There are also a variety of memorial funds that people set up in honor of folks who have left the industry or really made an impact. There are also some that happen every year because people believe that that's important. And so we actually just closed the application window for scholarships. We had over 1,000 applications.
Wow.
And this year we will award 38 scholarships. So
Awesome.
it's incredibly competitive. It's almost like, I've said to other people, it's like winning the lottery.
Sure.
And I am very proud that we get such a response. But then the other side of me is like, oh, these kids who are all they're superstars. They're really, they've got all A's and they're on every single sports team and they're doing great things in their community and they're working so hard. And I wish that we could grant more scholarships, but we can only grant as much funding as we have. And so, we always are looking for ways to expand that. The scholarships are anywhere from $500 to our most generous one is $7,000. Most of them are about $2,500.
Sure.
They go to graduating high school seniors who are going into a 2-year, a 4-year, or a technical school. It's not really important about where you're going, but it's more important about what are you doing. And we also ask in their essay, how is your future education going to impact your life and other people's lives in rural communities?
Sure.
I mean, we recognize that that's what is unique about us. And yeah, we hope those kids go back to rural communities, and some do and some don't. But higher education and, give those kids wings and everybody will benefit.
It's transformative, life-changing for
That's right.
the young men and women that
Yeah.
are recipients of that.
The James L. Bass Scholarship is a little bit different. In that it goes to a first year law student,
Okay.
and it's $5,000. And it was set up in honor of James L. Bass, who recently passed away,
Right.
who was a longtime member of NTCA and very well loved. And it was made possible by just the incredible generosity of NTCA members.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
That is great. You're watching the Broadband Universe podcast, brought to you by Lit Communities. Light up your community. You deserve better internet. By Vetro Fiber Map, radically simpler fiber management. And by Vitruvi, build faster, reduce costs, and improve quality. My guest today, Pam Becker, Executive Director of the Foundation for Rural Service. And Pam, we talked about so much of the work that is done by the foundation. One of the highlights, obviously, that youth tour where youngsters from all over the country get to find out what goes on in Washington, D.C. with the legislative process. Tell us about that.
So, youth tour is one of my favorite things that we do, but it's also one of the most exhausting things we do.
Sure.
So, I think I know I got to do a trip to DC when I was in high school, and it probably changed my life. It's probably why I ended up coming to college here. But it's an opportunity for 15, 16, and 17-year-olds in the service areas of NTCA members to come to DC in June for 4 days, 5 days. So they come, and it's about 110 students and 25 very brave chaperones. And we do all the planning, and we do the things you would typically think of, going to the Smithsonian museums and the monuments, and we go to Arlington National Cemetery and Mount Vernon and all those good things. But we also include a day on Capitol Hill, talking with Hill staffers, many of whom also grew up in rural communities and were involved in 4-H and FFA and other organizations like that. And then we also take them to the FCC because, after all, it is rural broadband.
Right.
And it's interesting because often, the folks at FCC or anywhere will start to talk about the importance of rural broadband. And if there is anybody who understands the importance of rural broadband, it is these high schoolers.
Sure.
Because they recognize how important it is, and they get it. They're the ones, using their internet to take AP calculus because it's not offered in their very small school, and that's how they are getting those resources. And so it's very interesting when we give them the opportunity to ask questions, because they're asking hard questions.
Right.
They're not throwing softballs by
Sure.
any means, and they want to know, how come, how do I get a hotspot on the school bus, and how, what are other resources that are available in my community.
And how important for the legislators to have that perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At first we're always a little bit worried about what are they going to ask, and inevitably it's so much better than you could ever predict it. And they come, and they're generally pretty scared, and often these kids have maybe never been on an airplane before, never traveled without their parents, they don't know anybody, and we mix them up, and we don't, if they came with their friend, we mix them up, make them meet new people, and by the end of the youth tour, they've made lifelong friends, and we actually hear that they have made lifelong friends, and they stay in touch, and several have become college roommates, and it's really great.
That is fantastic. Another of the most important parts each year are the community grants that are distributed, and I know recently, within the last several months, dozens of grants were put out. Talk about that and how you have seen that make a difference in communities all over the country.
Community grants are really remarkable. So at the end of each year, so at the end of 2022, we awarded actually 31 community grants. It was the most we've ever done.
Nice.
And it's because the FRS board has made a conscious decision that community grants really make such a huge difference. Yeah. And so it's funding that's available up to $5,000. So it's not meant to, change the world, but often it does. And again, an NTCA member partners with us, so they put in $500, we put in $4,500, and it goes to nonprofit organizations, schools, municipalities, first responder teams in their service area. So it's things like laptops and Chromebooks and whiteboards for schools. It could be equipment for libraries. It could be equipment for, we've had like heat sensor things for first responder teams. We had a weather station for a very small airport. It's sometimes it feels like how this just seems like not very much,
Yeah.
but the stories we hear back are amazing. You know, it's curriculum for, I could go on and on, curriculum for like STEM programs at schools, or there's a program in Nebraska that's funding a middle school robotics team, and you can see these kids are like, oh, this is so cool,
Sure.
and you know that they're going to remember that, and that's going to make a difference.
Absolutely.
It truly is. So
Absolutely.
community grants, scholarships happen in the spring, community grants happen in the fall.
Very good. One of the other things that we touched on a moment ago, the fact that we're just on the heels of the NTCA Our Time event that was held in San Diego. And two of the things that the foundation provided for attendees that are phenomenal reference tools, a wonderful glossary of terms in the industry. And you talk about something that's constantly changing, so important to have that. And also a nice guide to careers, and what an important consideration as well, knowing that our industry is in dire need of those following in the footsteps of those that have gone before.
So the third leg of what FRS is all about is really just educating the general public about things that involve rural broadband. And so that glossary, and I truly, I keep this right here at my desk, and I look at it probably several times a week. I just
Sure.
looked at it the other day, and it's got, a great list of acronyms and just, I don't know, I don't know, anything in there is all good.
Sure.
But, and we made it for folks who maybe aren't so familiar with the industry, and
Sure.
that could be new employees. We give it to new employees here at FRS and NTCA. It could be new board members. Maybe you're in a co-op and you have a board member who is trying to get up to speed on this. Or it's folks who have been around for a while and just forget all the little acronyms. So we recently updated it. It was a labor of love.
Sure.
It's like literally reading the dictionary. So we have printed versions, but it's also available on our webpage.
Nice.
You can download it as a PDF, and we also have it available as a flip book, so you can like turn the pages online and you can do a search. So, and all of that is available to anybody. The Guides for Careers is a brand new document.
Nice.
This just came out. Everywhere you turn, and it was a huge topic at our time, is workforce issues.
Yeah.
And everybody's busy and needs more folks, and how are we going to find those people? And because we also have this nice tie-in with young people in rural communities, we want to make sure that young people, high schoolers, college graduates, all recognize just the opportunities that are available in working in broadband. So again, this is not super exciting reading, but it's job descriptions are about what are the available positions, and all the way from the indoor jobs, the outdoor jobs, the administrative jobs, the technical jobs. We've done, a sort of a sample. Here's how it kind of goes together.
Nice.
In a made-up company, but kind of how where all the pieces go.
Absolutely.
And again, this is available for folks. We are hoping if you're going to a job fair, take this with you, or if you've already got a relationship with the high school counselors, take these with you. It's also on our webpage that you can download as a PDF and as a flip book.
Excellent.
So we love being able to do this. That's what being a resource for information. It's not. We are distinctly nonpartisan. We are not about politics. We're just about educating and about here's the information that you might need. We do white papers. This is a white paper that came out during the pandemic.
Yes.
We all knew how important broadband was, but we
Right.
wanted everybody else to know how important it was. And so it's full of really great infographics and things. Again, this is on our webpage. We've heard of folks going and taking parts of this and using it for their social media, for example, and helping explain to the public what is broadband and
Sure.
how does that work. So
And Pam, tell everyone how they can reach the Foundation for Rural Service.
it's pretty tricky. It's FRS, so foundationruralservice.org.
That's as easy as it comes.
Yeah, and if you go on there, there's a variety of things you can do, and these are all under educational materials.
Very good.
And you can also make a gift to FRS while you're there.
And absolutely, we encourage everyone to do that because of
Yes.
the phenomenal work that is being done. It's been so great to catch up with you again, to learn a little bit more about the work of the foundation. As we begin to wind up this particular visit, I'll have to ask that question to look into the future, break out that crystal ball. Where do you see the work of the foundation 5, 10 years down the road?
That's a hard question. I wish I had an instant answer. All I can tell you is what I hope. Um, I hope that FRS continues to be a resource for really credible information that anybody can use from any perspective. And I hope that we continue to partner with other organizations if that makes sense in helping to spread the word. I love that people who are connected to FRS are proud of that
Yeah.
association. We have a wonderful 20-member board. I want people to be proud that they are helping support FRS. And I hope that we continue, that the kids, for example, who participated in youth tour and then maybe they applied for a scholarship and got one, and then maybe they went off and did something and now they're back in their rural community and they're in positions of leadership, and that just sort of being able to raise up and see all of those opportunities help them come back and really benefit their rural community.
It is.
That makes my heart feel good.
That's great. Well, it's obvious, Pam, that you have a phenomenal passion for what you do at the foundation. You and the FRS team do phenomenal work. Thanks so much for that, and thank you for visiting with us today on the Broadband Universe.
My pleasure. Thanks again.
Absolutely. On behalf of Pam, thanks for letting us be a part of your day. We'll see you next time right here on the Broadband Universe. So long, everyone.